And here we are at the end of the Sonic Marathon Volume 2, folks. Only we're not exactly ending it with Sonic himself, but rather we're ending the marathon with Sonic's best friend here, Tails. Miles Tails Prower, the best friend of Sonic, the player 2 of the series, and the brains of the series, you get the idea. And he actually has 2 games of his own on the Game Gear. But how good are they, exactly? Well, that's what I'm here to find out, as well as share it with you viewers. So let's not waste any time, and let's get on to the review. Here's my review of both Tails Skypatrol and Tails Adventure on the Game Gear. Miles Tails Prower, the player 2 and the ever-reliable friend of good old Sonic, and I can't wait to see the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie in April next year. Sonic and Eggman's actors reprising their roles, Tails maintaining his current voice actor, and Idris Elba voicing a violent yet excellent Knuckles. The hype is real, yo, and I can't wait to see it! Anyway, Tails has 2 games on the Game Gear, with Tails Skypatrol and Tails Adventure. Both released in 1995, with the former being the first to be made, and it was a Japan exclusive game until compilations like Sonic Gems Collection hit the market. If I could come up with a reason as to why Tails Skypatrol is Japan exclusive, it's because of the overall gameplay, and it's likely going to turn off the Sonic fanbase, along with possibly getting less sales from it. Unlike other Sonic games I've reviewed, this game has no Sonic, Knuckles, or Dr. Eggman. Instead, Tails is after some witch that nobody cares about, and her goons that don't appear after this game. The game itself is a shooter game, but not in the traditional sense. His main method of combat is the ring he holds, as he can throw it to attack enemies or latch onto obstacles for safer progression on tight areas, as manually controlling Tails alone won't get you anywhere. You can move him up and down, while the left and right buttons are for slowing and speeding up. However, Tails can't stay in the air for too long, as indicated by the gauge that's slowly draining, and you can only fill it up with mint candy that you see in the field. Your biggest cause of death, however, is colliding with walls, ceilings, and even so much as grass. And if you get hit by an enemy, you need to keep mashing the buttons to recover yourself or else defeat. Given how frail Tails is in this game, this kind of mishap reminds me so much of Silver Surfer on NES, which predates Tails Skypatrol by 5 years, and it suffers to the same problems by having the same collision problems, as well as having to see that image of Silver Surfer looking pathetic in defeat, though admittedly it would have been fun to see Tails do the same thing in Skypatrol. The game itself can be defeated in 30 minutes or less if you memorize the level design, which is easier said than done if this is your first time playing the game. I can't recall how many times I got killed in this game, and I had to resort to save stating, just to see what I did wrong. Even with memorization, this game obviously doesn't have the excitement other shooters would have. Not much power-ups, the level design is all over the place despite being very colorful, and the bosses are just cannon fodder. It's no wonder why this game stayed in Japan for so long until years later. It's more of a novelty than something special that got your money's worth. That honor instead goes to our next game, Tails Adventure. In terms of the timeline, the Japanese manual states that this is before Tails met Sonic, while the manuals in other regions would suggest that it takes place after Sonic 2 and beyond. I'm gonna go with the latter as we move on with the video. While on his downtime, Tails' island is being invaded by a military group of birds known as the Battle Cuckoos, who starts bombing the place in search of the Chaos Emeralds, prompting Tails to take them out by force. As the most intellectual character in the series, Tails can go through different parts of the island, armed with bombs with
infinite ammo.
And aside from attacking enemies, you can also destroy some walls and floors with them, allowing you to discover upgrades that can help you progress with the game. It can range from bombs of different types, like the deadly napalm bombs, to Chaos Emeralds that can extend both HP and flight meter, or this drone that can help clear some obstacles and get items for you, and that very same drone can also transform into a hybrid vehicle, and will also have upgrades of its own, which you can equip it depending on the situation. If you think Knuckles is very overprotective of his island as well as the Master Emerald, well, so is Tails with his home, and he'll have no trouble telling them, no trespassing. All of these stages can be replayed at any time, as they also contain some upgrades that you couldn't get the first time around, making Tails Adventure similar to that of Castlevania Symphony of the Night in terms of non-linear gameplay, which I can welcome. However, not every upgrade in the game is useful, and some are situational at best. You can grab upgrades that are actually techniques associated with Sonic, Knuckles, or Fang the Sniper, with the Knuckles upgrade being the most useless as all you have is a punch with very pathetic range. But once you get all the Chaos Emeralds to have higher HP and with the necessary upgrades for your vehicle, along with his scientific mind, the way I see it, Tails is liable enough to put G.I. Joe to shame. I mean, Tails can take out a terrorist organization on his own and without the rest of Team Sonic backing him up. The overall graphics are good and the soundtrack is very pleasant to hear. As mentioned, I welcome the whole non-linear gameplay as it gives me more areas to explore and find upgrades to make the experience more interesting. The kind of experience that make me like the non-linear Castlevania games so much. Also, me reviewing this game feels like a complete 180, well, somewhat, from my previous Sonic Marathon. What I mean is that in my Sonic Marathon Volume 1, I capped it off with Sonic 3D Blast, which is somewhat of a whimper than a bang. But in this marathon, I'm capping off with what I consider to be one of the really good 8-bit Sonic titles, and also an 8-bit Sonic title to not feature Sonic at all. This may be biased, but the scores I'm giving for these games are based on my personal experiences. Tails Skypatrol gets a 2, and I suggest staying away from that game, while Tails Adventure gets a 9. And hey, if you have a 3DS lying around, you'll be pleased to hear that both Sonic Triple Trouble and Tails Adventure are available to download on the 3DS Virtual Console, as they are the best Game Gear Sonic games worth playing.
And there you have it, folks, the end of the Sonic the Hedgehog Marathon Volume 2. I'll admit that a lot of the games in this marathon are not exactly as stellar as the 16-bit titles are, but at least there are some few hidden gems every now and then that are still worth playing. I mean, I like Triple Trouble, and I do like Tails Adventure. So if you ever get a chance to find these games, or maybe find the Sonic Gems collection, they're worth playing in my opinion. Anyway, I hope you viewers like this marathon, and if you find this marathon interesting as well as all other content in my channel, feel free to subscribe to my channel at any time, as well as follow me on social media. It'll help my channel greatly, and I wholeheartedly appreciate the support. So, what other game will I venture forward to next? Well, let's just say I'll be digging through my library to see what other game I can review next in this channel. Also, if you're gonna go outside, just remember to continue wearing a mask, be sure to have hand sanitizer on your person, take the necessary vitamins that you need, and if you ever get a chance, get yourself vaccinated. It'll help a lot as well as save so many lives. Believe me. Until then, this has been Musashi X, and I bid you all farewell. Take care, and stay tuned.